Okay, this is how to fix Xbox. This may or may not be news to some of you, but the Xbox brand is kind of failing in a lot of ways. At least the perception of Xbox is that it's failing. Their messaging is way off, Sony's selling a lot more consoles. And I've been thinking about this week, and I was inspired to make a video about what Xbox needs to do to right the ship. And for the record, I'm an Xbox fan. I actually prefer the Xbox platform to the PlayStation one for a number of reasons that we don't have to get into right now. That could be a different video, I guess. And I'm not a PlayStation hater. Look, I got all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But we all have our preferences, and as much as I love it, the Xbox brand has been sending bad messages, marketing has been all over the place. And if the Xbox people would just listen to me, this is what they have to do. This is how to fix Xbox. First of all, let's talk about the naming problem. First Xbox came out, it was great. It was just called the Xbox. Around the same time the PlayStation 2 came out. Great start, but then they were poised to make some big moves. They didn't want to call it Xbox 2 because it would be in direct competition with the PlayStation 3. And people are dummies, and they see 3, and 3 is a higher number than 2. So I get it. You couldn't name it Xbox 2. So you named it Xbox 360. Great. I don't know what it means, but it's fine. We're moving on. At this point, people referred to the original Xbox as the Xbox One. But then the Xbox 3, the third console, they called the Xbox One. Incredibly stupid, makes no sense. You were already at the Xbox One, then you did a 360. You were back where you started at the Xbox One again, and then you called it the Xbox One. Doesn't make any sense at all. But then they got even more ridiculous with the Xbox One S and the Xbox One X, which were the mid-generation refresh models. Great consoles, by the way, but neither here nor there. Moving on. Then in the dopiest move ever, we actually confused the audience even more. The next generation consoles are called the Xbox Series S and Xbox Series X. They're two different SKUs, two different Xboxes in the same generation. One of them is more powerful, high-end model. One of them is a little more entry-level and cheaper. Cool, I get the strategy, but the naming, it's beyond stupid that this got greenlit. And again, these were great consoles. I love the Series X, but moving forward. Now we're talking about the future. The next generation console that comes out, whenever it comes out, whether it's in 2 years or 5 years, I don't know. But you technically just released two separate SKUs, two consoles in the last generation, the Series S and the Series X. So on a technicality, you can name this one Xbox 6, which will coincide with the release of Sony's PlayStation 6. It's simple, yeah, people will complain because it's technically not the 6 one, whatever. They're just going to be grateful that it's off of the Series 1 XS junk naming conventions. This is great. Xbox 6. Xbox 6. No, Xbox 6. Second big thing that needs to happen is that, there's been rumors lately that Microsoft is planning a handheld. That's great, that's cool, but this is all marketing and this is all strategy. So here's what we do. Rewind to the current generation. There's two separate SKUs in the Series X and Series S. I get why they did this. They wanted a more entry-level console. They wanted a cheaper version that was a little more affordable to people to get in. I get it. I don't think it's drawing in a lot of new players as much as intended, but there's a strategy here. And there's a downside. Let's talk about the downside. When you have two separate SKUs like this, it can hold the entire generation back. Every game that's designed for the Xbox Series X, the powerful one, has to be able to run on the Series S, albeit in lower resolution, lower frame rate, whatever. But this affects game development. This affects game development for the entire generation, even on the PlayStation brand. I mean, it's bad enough you have a lot of these games are releasing on the previous generation on the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. That is holding back a lot of the technology leaps that are supposed to be in this generation. Again, I get why it's a necessity. I get why that's the strategy, but if you're gonna split the SKUs, if you're gonna hamper the development on the fancy console, at least get an interesting, exciting, different kind of a product out of that second SKU. So your powerful home system is the Xbox 6, and your second SKU is not just a watered-down version of that for the same exact TV and the same exact home. It's the portable version. It's the Xbox 6 Surface. I don't know. I'm not married to that. I don't care. We'll just call it Xbox 6 Mobile for now. So yeah, developers have to make two versions of the game. They have to be able to make it run on the mobile one, but there are more tools this generation in AI upscaling and even AI downscaling where they can utilize AI to make things fit a different package. And there's rumors that Sony's going to do this too. Sony's going to make a new handheld. So it's fine. Development is going to have to accommodate this form factor. And then you have your big home traditional consoles with all the horsepower you need to run things at 4 or 8K with high frame rates. The next thing that Xbox should do, team up, partner with Meta and the Quest. Sony tried coming out with their own VR headset. Making something proprietary like that no one owns and having no software that supports it And asking people to buy it is just asking for failure. Team up with Quest. It's the most popular VR headset. Everyone has it. Parents have it, your grandparents have it, some of them, kids have it. There's a lot of software available for it. Microsoft already has a relationship with Meta on this because Xbox Live with their whole cloud initiative and Xbox Game Pass is available, and you can play it with a Quest without a TV. You can just, play on an imaginary screen and make it as big as you want, like a movie theater or whatever. That's cool and great, but integrate VR support. Use the PC VR connection for the Quest, except the Xbox now stands in for the computer. Add support for tons of VR software right through your console. Use infrastructure that's already there. Use a product that people already have. Offer a partnership that Sony is just unable to do. I promise that this would cause not only the Xbox brand to explode a bit, but VR in general. Meta wants this. So it's an easy partnership. Easier said than done, but make it happen. Finally, one more thing. Xbox 360 did an amazing thing with live events. They did a thing called 1 versus 100. It was a live game show. You could join in with your friends, and it was actually happening live, and you could participate, and they would pick people in the audience who would join at a time live and randomly pick those people, and they would be the one person who would be the contestant, and there would be 100 people they would pick out of the thousands and thousands of people who would be more important in the game. But everyone is participating. There was a dude that hosted this every week or a couple times a week, I forget. I couldn't wait to play this thing. I loved this thing. I looked forward to it. When I wasn't home and I missed it, I was bummed out. Microsoft has the kind of money where they can make something like this happen, and the infrastructure, not just the money. And they've already done it, and they have the brand. Do something like it, but screw like it. I mean, unless you come up with a better idea, just bring back 1 versus 100. It's something that made your brand super different, and they didn't promote it enough, and not enough people knew about it. It's an incredible thing for your service. It was ahead of its time. Bring it back. This all seems like very basic stuff, like very obvious stuff. My ideas I'm putting out here are not way out of left field. I have some other ideas. I have some crazy ideas regarding FPGA technology and stuff that I would love to talk to Xbox about, but they're never going to go for it. I got a lot more ideas, but this is basic, clear messaging and a solid strategy going forward. I like all the cloud stuff that they're doing. I'm not really utilizing it. I don't need to, but it's interesting for the future. It's going in cool directions. But at this point in the game, Xbox needs some clear, concise messaging to gamers. There's so many good games coming out from Microsoft. People aren't paying attention. They don't know. There's some amazing stuff coming. But if no one's buying into your platform and your consoles, then no one's going to play them, and it's going to be a shame. Right the ship. Don't do anything fancy to the ship. Do the tried and true ship repairs and give it a paint job. Xbox 6. It's what the people want. And everyone do me a favor. Tag Phil Spencer in this. Tag Xbox in this. I don't necessarily need the credit. Like I said, I want Phil Spencer. I like the guy. I want him to do well. I want them to succeed. I love what Xbox does. At least a lot of it. I'll give him more ideas. I got so many more ideas about the controller. I don't even need the credit. Tell Phil to hire me as like his coffee guy, his coffee boy, and I'll whisper things to him like Ratatouille. What do you guys think? Get back to me in the comments. What do you think of these ideas? What ideas do you have? And don't do any of that fanboy stuff and be like, Xbox is dead, Microsoft is dead. You don't want that. Trust me, even if you're a hardcore PlayStation fan, you do not want Microsoft to be dead. You know what Sony platforms would look like right now if it wasn't for the Xbox? You know what your online infrastructure and friends lists and storefronts would look like? Competition is good. You want Xbox to be doing good. You could still be a Sony fan, but you want to keep Sony on their toes. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you think. My show is normally completely different than this, but I wanted to get this off my chest. As always, new episodes every Friday, and we'll see you then.